Hello everyone, my name is Corazar, and welcome back to the Vintage Story Guide, where we have seconds to go on the clock to get prepped for this temporal storm. I think what we're going to do is we're going to run in here and trade our current inventory for the spears that are in there, and hope no bears have spawned here since I was last here. We're in safe. Let's prep. Hello bunnies. Let's do some trading and get ready for the storm, because I want to see what the chances are of us getting some Jonas parts from some of the bigger batter drifters that spawn, specifically the double-headed drifters. So let's get this temporal storm moving on and let's see what kinds of cool stuff we can get. I think I'll put on some tunes to jazz out too. Let's do, what do we have? We've done Quirky Tavern. Let's do Vintage Story. Why not? Let's get some good music going on. Hello? Quirky Tavern again. Nope. Okay. The resonator is broken, so I guess we won't be listening to any music. Well, let's get down here and get this party started. Hello, friendos. Oh, Nightmare Drifter. Sure, why not? Oh, I like that new overhead spear animation. Oh, here we go. Double header. Hey, buddy. Come here. Come on, buddy. You can do it. We're not. Come on. No running away now. I will have you. Yes. Oh, nope. Not dead yet. Ooh, that was close. There we go. What have you got for me, my friend? Wow. Okay, so we do get them. Very fun. Very fun. I wouldn't mind a second doubleheader, though. Boink. And he's gone. So we did get a sub-assembly. We have an exquisite planetary gear. We got 2 temporal gears. We got a couple rusty gears and 16 flax fibers. Not a bad haul overall. I think that was a pretty good temporal storm. And it's good to know that we do indeed have a chance of getting Jonas parts and sub-assemblies from the greater tier drifters, well, from the doubleheaders specifically. But I'm going to put away everything we have here, and I'm going to go and get ready for the rest of this episode, which I think we'll spend building, some with some new things we have in 1.19, but the rest are things I've had plans for a little while now. Alright, good morning everyone. It's already been 2 days since we last spoke. I did some chores yesterday, including beekeeping and animal milking and all that kind of jazz. And before we get into the real meat of today's episode with the build I want to do, let's do a couple really minor touch-up jobs here, and also talk about sort of the goals for the series. Because with 1.19 out and some changes to terrain generation that have been done, there have been some minor ones, as well as some other odds and ends, I think it would be fun to do something new. And I've also taught you all a lot about the game in this series, and I thought it could be fun to maybe look toward the future and what comes next. Now, the first thing I want to build here is I want to make an aged scroll rack, because scroll racks can hold more than just scrolls. I'm going to put you there. We're going to move you over to here, I think. Yeah. Check out what else these can hold. Tuning cylinders. That's right, folks. We can store our tuning cylinders above the resonator. That doesn't work. I actually tested it out and did some debugging. Well, not actual, like, looking at upwards debugging, but nonetheless. And I've determined that there is indeed a bug going on. We can store our tuning cylinders in a rack like this, and I think that is pretty awesome. Next, I think our bedroom needs a painting. Let's take these 3, and let's see if any of them fit what we're looking for. Wow, that is an empty frame, but not from this angle. Just in our hands. It is an empty frame. Let's see, I want something here. Do I like that? That's okay. Do I like that? That's kind of the same colors as we have going on in the room already, so What about you? You know, that's kind of the closest, even though it's the same sort of motif like mountains and woods, and it's a green color. I think I like this one the best. It's not my favorite painting for here, but it's the one I've got. I've got plenty of these paintings too. Let's put something like here too. There's a deer. And any room in here? Nope, another deer painting. Where could we put this bunny, this prey painting? Right there. There we go. And last but not least, let's get over to our new little fishing hut, which is a lot more than a hut, given that it's like 2 floors and fully functional. And what happened here? My poor shabby chic sign. I'll fix that in a minute. But let's drop this little container, say, let's put you there, and we'll put the basket there. There we go. That's a bit better. There we go. Much better. Anyway, so yeah, I think we're in what's probably going to be our last year in-game in this world. It will, of course, be sad to eventually say goodbye to it, but I would like to move on to bigger and better things eventually. And I want to try some new things out in Vintage Story, including some requests that you have all made. One of which is that many of you have requested a much more heavily modded playthrough, and I thought that could be interesting. I'm also tinker with some new starting locations and some new starting parameters too. But that's going to be a little ways down the road still. We are not done with this world. Like I said, we have about 1 more year, so that's going to be a good, healthy handful of episodes. So, let's talk goals. 1, this backyard area needs to get tamed a lot. I want to get rid of this dumb tube here. I want to fix it so that our blue cheese cellar still works. I'll probably just sort of drag this tube out to about here and leave it out here. And I want to clean this up, make this a much more presentable entrance here. Probably just sort of dig this out and slope this, maybe even use a retaining wall. And then decorate our backyard area, because this is very plain, and I would love to have some kind of little like tea garden right here where we can sit and enjoy a bit of the afternoon to evening sun and have some tea. I would also like to finish this up here. I still haven't quite decided what's going to go here yet. That of course includes finishing up this area down here. This is all closed in, and finishing up the stairwell down to our basement here and making it actually functional. I also want to very fully light up the exterior here so that we don't have rifts spawning, say, right here, like there was one the other night. So we'll probably have to build like a little perimeter, maybe some more of the lampposts, and just stick some lamps around here. And hello, brown bear. You're not supposed to spawn here anymore, dude. Yeah, get out of here. What are you even doing? The next thing is I would like to do something with this area over here. Maybe do another retaining wall and have a bit of a sort of land spit out here. And maybe do like a garden up here, like a flower garden specifically. And just turn this into something really bright and colorful. I also would like to grow maybe a couple trees up here, because as much as I enjoy our little pumpkin patches, they're, I mean, not terribly attractive. But I think having trees here to break up this area and just give something visual, kind of like a foresty cityscape, right? I might even look at having like a redwood tree or 2 like here and then maybe on the other side, just that this isn't the only very tall feature in the area. Although it is really cool, I feel like it's a bit of a sore thumb sometimes. And lastly, this is not a building goal, but we have a whole bunch of these Jonas parts, and we now have 4 of these planetary gears, which I hope we find more than just these. But I want to build at least 1 Jonas device, and unfortunately, I don't think we have the ability to make anything at this point. Yep, nope, I just went through all of them, and we are unable to make a single Jonas device, whether it's Rift Ward or night vision goggles, or either of the teleporters. We can't do any of that. So that is one of the goals. So you know what, let's go ahead, I'm going to grab a couple signs here, and I could have sworn I still had my charcoal on me. But you know what, let's pop this one off here. I don't like this picture too much anyway, and let's do some goals. Okay, so 1, tea garden. 2, backyard. 3, flower garden. We'll save that. And let's see. 4. Lights. 5. At least 1 Jonas device. Room over barn. And 7 finish barn. Let's make you a little bit smaller so you fit. There we go. So we have 7 goals. We have the tea garden, backyard, flower garden, lighting around the whole area, 1 Jonas device, remember the barn, finish the barn, and 3.5 trees. There we go. We have 8 goals. I think these 8 are a pretty good set of goals to accomplish before we wrap up this season of the Vintage Story Guide. Now, seeing as we have plenty of time left in this episode, let's get to the first one. I want to tackle that tea garden because it has been something that's been on my mind for a while, and a couple of you who were thinking my same thoughts suggested it in the comments a long time ago. So, as we say around here, let's get to it. Alright folks, it is the next morning, and I think we should get right to it because we have a lot of chiseling to do actually. So right here is the spot where I want to put our little sort of recessed or in-ground tea time location. And I have here a trunk with most, and maybe even all, of the materials we need. As you can see, this will be a small, kind of, sort of close detailed build, rather than something big and crazy. We're going to start with the main basics first. I want to get the shape of what we're going to build in place, and then we will get to the details. So first, let's figure out how much space we need for our tea time. Let's dig out a little bit of space here. This new shovel animation is still getting me. Still getting used to it. So here we have a 3 block wide area to sit. I think this feels a bit cramped. Let's try 4. Do I like 4? If we have like a table and chairs set up right here against the wall, that's pretty comfy, but 5 might be a little bit better. Let's see how 5 looks. If I can click my mouse in the right places. Remains to be seen. 5 blocks. Yeah, we have a bit of a yard here. Ooh, maybe have some bushes around here, like I have these bushes here. I think we can work with this. And then maybe, I was thinking of kind of flanking this with some big fancy trees. So that could be worth doing too. But first we are going to collect up all of this sandstone and replace it with dirt to regrow into grass. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, off screen. Okay guys, I know I said I was going to do it off screen, but I'm chiseling all these blocks to make them easy to collect and store. But look at that new chisel hold and animation. I don't know if you can see, but the hammer is actually being used. So let's go ahead and try this here. Boop. And boop. There goes the hammer. Is that cute or what? I love it. I don't love it doing it in third person, but I love it nonetheless. And with the power of editing, we have a nice clear field to work with here. Now we are going to remove some of these blocks that we just put down. That's okay. And we're going to replace these with some light mud brick. Right here. All along this border. And I think I will have this log come down and rest on this foundation, as this would be like a stronger foundation. So yeah, we'll leave it like that. And over here, we are going to do the thing, and we're going to chisel in this mud brick onto these 2 blocks here. And there we go. Now, if we look closer from the inside corner, we will see a bit of a seam there, because this light mud brick will show just in this voxel on the inside, but I think that is a small price to pay. So here we have this. I'm actually going to do a silly thing and remove one of these blocks, probably this one. And we got it back. Bonus. And we're going to replace that with a path block. And we're just going to hook all this up with a bit of path here, just to get that started. There we go. And then, of course, since we're outdoors, we're going to use our outdoor fence because it's sort of weathered. Oh, we can't have a fence here. Well, that is not the worst thing, really. It's fine. This is not for protection, just for decoration. Just to make it seem like we have a bit of something going on to keep us from falling down here. Maybe this is sort of our secret, like, oh, we're going to go and quick grab our teacups before it rains. Hop down here, grab them, run back inside. I think that's fine. Now, the bigger question comes in, where do I want to put these trees? These are going to be the Mediterranean cypress, so they'll grow tall and straight, and they won't really have any log blocks. So I could put them here on the edge, but this might actually crowd this path a little bit too much. So I was thinking maybe we put them in here so they won't be quite as tall, well, at least not from the outside. And that way they'll kind of stick up over the fence and they should look pretty okay. And then I think here I'm going to put some cranberry bushes. Probably not right here, just to not crowd those. But this will help kind of cover up some of, like, if this gets a trunk, it'll cover up the trunk. And just provide some greenery on the inside of this wall here. Now, I think the last thing that I want to do that I didn't think of before is I want to plant some flowers here. So let's tuck these away, and let's go get us some flowers. Now, we've been hitting the lupins pretty hard, so they're kind of hurting as far as stock, but I think I'll take some blue lupins, because I'm running low on cornflower, and cornflower looks better in pots and planters anyway. Let's see, let's grab something orangey. I'm thinking some gold mallow. Let's grab... I would love something red, but the only red flower in the game currently is the red lupin, and we have 0 of them. So let's maybe get something yellow instead, and something... ooh, purple. This is kind of closer to red than the catmint is, so let's do that. And then I'm thinking a little bit of wild daisy, just for that bright splash. Now, the blue lupins go in first to find out which squares are going to give us the nice big flowers. Okay, so let's get rid of these few. So we have the nice big bushy ones. And I don't need a ton of these, so we'll keep that one there. And then we'll just leave this one here on the corner, I think. And I won't plant anything here because stuff really wouldn't want to grow there in the shade. Or maybe the heather could. You might enjoy it. You're kind of a low flower, sure. Let's just tuck a couple of these here and there. Let's do... ooh, that's a little close for that. Let's put those there to avoid crowding it. I think that works okay. Ooh, that's a bushy flower. We'll put one of you here. And I think we're good on heather. Let's put... you know, let's move you. Actually, I want to put you here so you're a little more visible. And then we'll do another wild daisy here. And here. And then we'll do another woad. And there we have a nice, bright little flower garden surrounding our entrance to our little tea corner. Okay, so here is the space we're going to be working with. And I think what I want to do is I want to build a little table and a pair of chairs to go with it. And I'm thinking we'll probably put the table like out a little bit, like right here. And maybe do the chairs too. Or maybe do one here and one kind of back against the wall. Maybe have one facing out and then this one here facing the table. That could look pretty cool. We could even try spacing the second one out here as if sort of we were getting a bit of shade from the roof here, because the sun does cross kind of in this direction. So maybe we were here in the evening and it was too bright, and so we sort of tucked the chair here to get some shade. We can reach across to get our tea over here. To that end, I brought along some white marble. I brought along some lake ice and some peridotite, chert, sandstone, fresh dug out of the ground, and some bauxite. And what we're going to do here is we're going to make a little table. I'm going to make a marble table with a glass top with lake ice. And then I want to do a little tea set on top of the table. And then we will do the chairs, probably just in marble. And I brought along a few extra marble blocks here so that we can have like 2 block chairs if we want to. But I might try to keep them within sort of the single block design, because I feel like given the size of everything and the scope of everything, it does look kind of funny to have chairs that are like 2 meters tall. With that being said, let's get to it. Okay, folks, here we have our little table. I think it's a pretty light and airy outdoor design with legs that kind of come in, are bound together with this little sort of strap here, then are bent and curled outward so we don't stub our toes or cut ourselves on the metal ends there. And of course, we have a sort of frosted glass tabletop. Now, I wanted to put some things on the table before we get to the chairs, and I already have everything in my inventory except for you. Come with me. Something you can do is, if you're trying to build a bunch of small items on a surface, is to either use a temporary sort of surface to build on, or start with a single block or single microvoxel thick block like this, but we're going to chisel this down to a sliver by jumping, I suppose. So there we go. We have it as one voxel thick. Going to push these in, and we're going to have a bit of a raised glass table, because when you have the glass recessed like this, it kind of loses definition, I find. That's why with the windows in the hallway, I went for kind of thicker window panes. These are 3 voxel thick window panes, sorry, 4 voxel thick window panes. No, there are 3, and then I have the windows set inside there as a 1 voxel thick, because while really this is like a larger gap or larger difference in size than you see in the real world, it just helps add some definition in Vintage Story. So we're going to pop the glass top here up just a little bit by 1 part of a voxel, and that will give us a surface from which to much more easily start and create several different things we can lay out here. Like, ooh, spoons. I forgot to get some stone for spoons. Let's get some granite for a spoon or two. Got that. Let's go ahead and we're going to just make this match the size of the glass top. It's already set into the table here. There we go. Now, see, it's like a little bigger than you might expect to see in real life, but I think it gives it a nicer look, and it looks almost like a gemstone in a way, and just gives the table a bit more definition. And again, the surface to build from. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a bunch of blocks to this. Oh, those are already chiseled. So I was saying, let's pick that up, and we're going to add some marble to this. We're going to add some peridotite. We're going to add some chert, which is not chiseled. We're going to add some sandstone, which is chiseled. Are you chiseled? You are not. And you are not. So I'm just going to place you back down. I'm going to add these bits in manually. Can't chisel this block. It's too unstable and might collapse. What the heck does that mean? Let's try just doing this with these and seeing if we can add them the old-fashioned way. Okay, we can add them the old-fashioned way. I'm not sure what's going on with the newer method. But there we go. We should now have, yes, all of those blocks are integrated now. Let's start with like a tea set. So we'll do 2 teacups, probably with some saucers, and then we'll do like a teapot. I'm thinking like a nice fine white china with some little designs on it. We can get some little flowers in there. And then maybe like a sugar bowl. So we'll do that probably out of the white marble as well, with a spoon sticking out. Maybe we'll have a spoon in one of our cups. And then, oh, you know what we could do? Oh ho ho. I'm feeling sneaky about this one. We could grab some of the brown glass that we have and use that for tea in the cups. Oh, yes. So I assume we still can't add you in. Oh. We can add the glass, but not the bauxite. What? What is going on here? Let's get started with the teacups and the tea set in general, and let's get this tabletop filled in. Okay, a bit of a bulky tea set. I kind of think maybe we could just lower this all by 1 and not have little saucers, but I kind of like the saucers. You know what? Let's kill the saucers. We're going to tear these guys down, bring these down by 1 voxel and make them a bit less bulky. Away with ye. Okay, there we go. We have a teacup with a spoon still in it and some tea in it. A teacup with no spoon, the spoon here on the table. And then we have a sugar bowl with a spoon sticking out of it. Then, of course, we have the teapot itself. And here I think is where we're going to get a little dicey, a little creative with some teeny tiny, I mean tiny little designs. So I think we should put like a green spot, like a red spot to indicate maybe there's like a rose design on here. So we can do like that. Maybe one on both sides. A little, whoops, you're not a rose. There we go. And then, let's see, over here, we'll get our green back out. And then, over here on our teacups, let's do like a little, maybe yellow gold design. So maybe a yellow gold spot like here and here, or just across here like this. So let's do yellow on both sides like this, and we'll do it here as well. And then the orange right here, as if we had some kind of bright little floral design there. And then maybe to cap it off, let's do like a little green design on the sugar bowl. So maybe here on the side. And we'll do one over here as well. And then we'll do, say, yellow on the sugar bowl. And there we go. A colorful little tea set, if you squint. And now it's time for the chairs. So let's get one chair done, and then we will copy and rotate it to the second chair. I'm going to start the chair, I think, right here to give us a little more space to work with. And every time I walk through this, I hear the rustling, and maybe it might be too faint for you to hear, but it sort of surprises me, like, there's something moving in the bush. Oh, it's me. I'm moving in the bush. So let's see, for these chairs, yeah, I'm going to try to make something that's like kind of low to the ground, a little sort of angled here. Something we could sort of recline in, but not really like a lawn chair recliner. Maybe we would need like a footstool for that. So let's see what we can do to get this chair started. And there we go. We have it. Check it out, folks. We have our very own little recliny chair. We can drop this guy like right here as planned. I could even maybe bring it in a block, a little closer to the table. But check that out. We can also drop this guy here. We can grab our pantograph. We're going to copy you, slap you there, and then we're going to give you a bit of a spin. There we go. We'll also do this just to fix any lighting issues. And check it out. A little sort of slatted... I wasn't trying to make an Adirondack chair, but it kind of ended up being a bit like that by accident. Of course, Adirondack has sort of the sun ray sort of spokes for the back, but this is a sort of little reclining chair. You can sit back, lean back, maybe sort of arch your back over the back, just like our little chairs inside. And I think this is a fun little chair and tea set here. Well, I'm going to make it morning, and then we're going to come back and see what other little additions we can make to take up a little bit more space in this little green field here. It's just a little bit too plain at the moment. Alright, folks, good morning. I was just feeding the animals and milking the sheep. I think I know what I want to do as far as what's going to go out here. So I brought this along, the storage vessel, but I think it's a bit too much green. So we're going to just keep this out of the equation. We are going to put down a watering can, say, maybe like here, as if we water these plants here on the regular. And that adds just a nice dark color to everything going on here. Speaking of dark colors, let's do a planter in that corner and a planter over in this corner. And I think, let's see, in this corner we'll put a tree, little pine tree. And over here, some catmint. It's a bit shorter than I'd like, but it's still a pretty good splash of purple. I'm stuck on the watering can. But there we go, we have a nice little tea space with a little bit of a nicely trimmed lawn here that will definitely fill in with grass, hopefully, eventually. I'm just going to replace that just in case. Also, in case I chisel these by accident, they won't stack, and I won't forget about them. So there we go. Let's take a seat and see if we actually sit off the edge of this or not. Let's try here. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Oh, is that cute or what? My goodness, I love it. Well, everyone, that is going to about do it for this episode of the Vintage Story Guide. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure in what 1.19.1 has for us, as far as the temporal storms go. However, I do know that 1.19.3 dropped just the other day, with some additional changes we'll have to look at in the next episode. And I hope you had fun with this little tea set build and the other little explorations we did along the way. If you enjoyed the episode, let me know by leaving a like or a comment below. And I'd love to have you subscribe if that's your thing. As always, my name has been Corazar. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.